People have to buy the book. Well, let's get right to it, okay? I've been to Iraq a few times on U.S. By the way, it's hilarious, her writing. So now I feel... I've been to Iraq a few times on USO tours. The first time I sliced into that sand trap was 2003. I made that trip with my assistant and the comics Jim Norton and Laurie Kilmartin. Laurie has since married a very cute young Mexican comic. I hear that now he's gotten the Carta Blanca. He's splayed out in the air mattress in the master bedroom extended Silverado cab, analyzing wrestling magazines like they're the Talmud and yelling in Spanglish for another cerveza fria, while the once proud quasi-feminist uses her copy of The Beauty Myth as a changing table for her triplets. But that's her journey, as they say. But let's get to the other fellow traveler on the Iraq journey. One James. Mommy, why does that man have a cascading neck? Norton. It was my tour, and like a magnanimous Sunni chieftain, I was kind enough to bring Jim along. He came cheap. His dressing room rider included wood chips instead of a rug, a giant wheel for exercise, and pellet food. The first few shows...
I resent that implication a lot, by the way, that I'm some kind of a small, fucking, insignificant mammal who eats gerbil food and runs in a circle like a fucking idiot, four-legged nothing. Just wanted you to know that I resented that a lot. But go ahead, go back to reading.
But continue?
Yeah, I just didn't want people to overlook the absolute violation of that statement.
Well, I hope there's some animal activists listening and realizing you're saying some of God's creatures are four-legged nothings. That's what Jim calls mammals, four-legged nothings. The first few shows went off without a hitch. Then we hit New Year's Eve. We're in the tent getting ready for the big show at one of Saddam's palaces when the USO representative Tracy, who banned me later, by the way, informs us that due to possible danger from incoming insurgent fire, the show might have to be canceled. Of course, I took this news with the grace and low-key humility that I've worked tirelessly to display. So everything is fine. Laurie is cool. Ellen is cool. Tracy is cool. I'm cool. But then suddenly I hear a quiet buzzing in the tent. At first, I thought it was one of those giant flying insects that have been flying around this part of the Middle East since the Old Testament. But I looked around for a newspaper to put a stop to it, when suddenly we all looked and realized it wasn't an insect. At least not in the conventional sense. No, it was Jim muttering to himself and walking spastically around the room in circles, waiting for someone to notice him and ask what was the problem. Tracy or Ellen inquired, and Jim with a look of sullen reproach on his idiotic baby face.
There's a lot of adjectives.
He loves using adjectives with you, Jimmy.
Yes, he does.
That's not nice. No.
Blurts out, I've been doing comedy for 12 years. I've never missed a New Year's show. He sulks dramatically. The rest of us stand in stunned silence. Let me state the situation one more time. We're in Iraq in a war zone. Boys and girls putting their young bodies in harm's way every day to defend our barely defensible way of life here in the United States. They're not getting a lot of high-profile celebrity visits. I know that you knew that from the fact that we were there. But the celebrities that do visit at least give these brave youngsters the reassurance that people appreciate the sacrificial nature of what they're trying to do. In the midst of that, this incubated hatchling is strutting around, quacking, feathers ruffling, because people don't realize that this trip is not about giving brief respite to the 19-year-olds seeing the frontline horrors and depravities that will never leave their minds. No, 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 no. That's important, sure, but more pressing is keeping the torch lit on the unnoticed and immaterial New Year's record of this ludicrous goblin. I bet our troops would have doubled their valor and courage if they knew they were protecting the right of a drone to live in a movie within its own mind. A movie in which 12 December 31st in various New Jersey townships drinking a post-show glass of cream soda while being treated to a perfunctory suck-off by a bewildered blubber bunny trying not to smear her hair glitter at all. And that's why we could never win in Iraq. Because we're all under the impression our way of life is precious. Even a guy like Jim Norton is clinging to his one empty tradition, like anyone gives a care. My prayers for his death, as always, went unanswered.
I felt that was
so good.
unnecessarily descriptive in my perhaps unnoticed physical flaws.